We were talking Whoop Strap 3.0. I've had it for 11 months, nearly a year, so I think it's time for a long-term review. What up, superhumans? How's it going? BT here. I am a NASM master trainer, performance exercise specialist, corrective exercise specialist, and a mixed martial arts conditioning specialist. And this channel is dedicated to helping you move, feel, and perform better, both mentally and physically. So if you're into that sort of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Today, we're really focusing on fitness trackers. I've got a ton here. I've got the Wise Watch, a Hilby, your Apple Watch, Whoops on my wrist, Amazon Halo, the Oura Ring. So lots of information on those, but I don't want you to feel like you can't, join the party if you don't have a question on those. So if you do, please ask. Now, I will say this. I am using a software called Restream. I don't know if you can see it over here. I guess you can't. But I'm using a software called Restream. I've never used it before. And as we all know, that shit can hit the fan when you're doing something new. So I'm not sure if I'm getting messages. It's supposed to tell me if a message pops up. So if you guys have a question, it's supposed to pop up. But I'm not seeing anything. So we'll see if this works. It'd be great if somebody could tell me if the audio was working. It looks like it's working on my end, but I I have no idea. I don't think anybody saw the intro, the intro that took me like 2 hours to make earlier. But anyway, for those people that are watching, camera 1, I've also got camera 2, and we can switch over to my iPad if we need to. If you're watching this and you've got a question, please leave it. I'm going to see if this function actually works. I'm using a new software called Restream. It's supposed to be pretty awesome, but I've never used it before. So, stuff could happen, bugs, glitches, etc. And let me know if the audio is working. Cool? Da, 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 da. This only works if it's interactive. I'm hoping this works. That would really suck if this didn't work at all. shows that everything's working. If I hop into it, I can see it. All right. Hey, Gavin. Thank you. Good to know. Gavin says loud and clear. So a lot of this stuff, again, I can actually show it. Bam. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I've never streamed. I've never done a live stream. This is my first go. So hopefully this kind of like determines whether or not I'll do more of it. I would like to, but yeah. So if you got questions, let me know down below. If you would like to join the live stream, I think that's something you could actually do. It says we're going to shotgun this. We'll see what happens here. I can actually paste that here. That is the link to ask a question. So if you actually wanted to hop in, and ask me a question, you could actually join me on the live stream by clicking that link. I don't know if it'll work or not, but my wife just sent me a text. She can hear me, but she can't figure out a way to leave me a message. Well, babe, you've got to be on YouTube and you've got to go into the chat section and leave a question there. I'm going to text her that. I don't know why I'm texting her that. If she's watching, then she can hear this, and I just realized that just now. Gavin, how are you, buddy? Gavin, tell us all where you're from. There we go. You have to tap live chat. So just so you know, to leave a comment, you have to tap live chat. Cool. Let's see. I'm glad they're coming in. I was super worried that none of this was actually going to work. So, Melbourne, Australia. Gavin's all the way down from Australia. So, good point. If you do want to leave a question, if you want to ask a question, you can hit live chat. If you want to join me in the live stream, you can join me in this actual live stream just side by side. I left a link in the chat. Just click on that link. It'll pull you up into the queue. You don't have to, but if it's something you want to join me on, you definitely can. Again, all of this we're kind of just winging it. But anyway, I'm ready for your questions. So if you've got one on any fitness trackers or anything else, let me know. Bum, bum, bum. I can also put some chill music in the background. Does that ease the tension of everybody watching? Does that make it feel more inviting? Boom. Also, if you like, what was I going to say? If you like really good, honest reviews on your favorite fitness and tech products, make sure you like and subscribe. It's how I, keep the channel going. It's how I can afford to make the videos. There you go. Also, you can follow me on Instagram. It's pretty simple, at super_human_performance. So again, if you want to leave me a question, just put it up in the chat. So you've got to click live chat, and then you can type me or leave me your questions. All right. Let's see. Difference between Whoop and Aura. It's what people ask me the most. So, difference between Whoop and Aura. this is the question that people ask me the most. Melissa gets questions way more than I do because she's got a much bigger following, but I also get asked this a lot. The Oura Ring. All right, so this is the Oura Ring. Let's hide this. This is the Oura Ring. So it's a wearable that's actually a ring. And I haven't worn it for a long time, but basically it goes on like so. So it's a ring, which is pretty cool. It's a less intrusive. It gets in the way a little bit less than like the Whoop, Like if you're doing kettlebell stuff or barbell stuff, it kind of always hits, and this, it just doesn't get in the way. I've done plenty of farmer's walks, grip stuff, and it's never really been an issue. But the Oura Ring and the Whoop do a lot of the same things, but I would say the biggest difference is Oura really puts the emphasis on sleep. I would think of this as a really high quality sleep tracker, all right? And the Whoop as like a performance tracker. So the Whoop's going to give you HRV, your resting heart rates, but your heart rates during activity, and that's the one thing Oura Ring doesn't do. And I didn't know it until I got it. I was actually really surprised. This does not give you any during activity readouts. So it'll give you a post readout of like your intensity, but nothing during. So that's the biggest difference. The other major difference is this is like $300. I hate that's on my middle finger, so I have to flip you off if I'm going to show it. But the Oura Ring is a one-time purchase, and the Whoop strap is a subscription. The more months you buy in advance, the cheaper it becomes. So at 6 months, it's $30 a month. At, I want to say 12 months, it's like $22. And then at anything over 18 months, it's like $18 a month. Okay. Let's see. I've never seen the Oura. Can you show us a bit? Yep. So we just got done with that. I'm a Fitbit user. Cool. Hopefully you're enjoying that. Gavin asks, what's it made out of? Does it scratch with holding weights? It has scratched a little bit. I wish I could show you. Let's see. Maybe I can get close enough on here. Probably not. I can try to. Come on, track it. But you can see that it's kind of blemished a little bit, but it's honestly, it's not bad. It's not one of those things that I would worry about. It's gonna scuff up, all right? So that's the major difference between the Oura and the Whoop, other than location too. So it tracks just about everything that it would. The other major difference is how often it tracks. And that's probably the major difference between all of these and why I still continue to choose Whoop. So I get probably the biggest question I get is the what is best or what is most accurate. And the difference between all of these is not the sensor technology. They all use roughly the same sensor. It's the algorithm. It's how much they actually try to track. So the difference between a Wise Watch and a Whoop and your Apple Watch is massive. So the Wise Watch takes readings once every 5 minutes, whereas the Apple Watch also takes readings every 5 minutes unless you've specified that you're doing a workout. If you're doing a workout, you're going to average about 12 readings a minute. So quite a few more readings. The Oura Ring, 250 readings per second. The Whoop, that's the Apple Watch. The Whoop is a reading every single millisecond of the day. All right. So when people are like, hey, what's the most accurate? What's the best? It's not that like one sensor is less accurate than the other. It's actually that the algorithm is what's kind of stymieing the ability of that. I'm going to kind of like draw you up an example of what I mean. Just 1 second. Let's go into Procreate. We'll come over here. So this is like, think of it like this. All right. I'm going to draw kind of like a timeline. So let's say this is like your workout timeline, and we're using the Apple Watch or the Wise Watch. And it takes a reading like every 5 minutes. So like your heart rate's up here, it's up here, it's down here, it comes down, comes up, etc. So that's like the line that it looks like. Ooh, that's not very good. Right? So those are like your workout plots or your heart rate measurements plotted out. Well, if that's every 5 minutes and we take a look at Whoop, which is like every single millisecond, I'm not going to be able to draw all that, but this is like Whoop. All right, so maybe we have some dips, maybe we have some huge peaks, and it matches up, but you can see like this looks way different, right? If I were to draw all these, that looks way different than the Wise Watch. And you would say, well, which one's more accurate? Well, the one with more readings is going to give you a more accurate look at your heart rate. Does that make sense? Can somebody let me know if that actually made sense? Let's see if I can get through these too. Figured out I can watch the live stream via cool. But you definitely have to watch on YouTube. Just FYI, Gavin, I have the old Aura up. What do you think about a Garmin watch if a runner and running with the Fitbit? I don't know why you would use both. I'm going to throw that up there. So Chris, thanks for the question. He says, what do you think about the Garmin watch if a runner and running with the Fitbit? I don't know why you would use both. Honestly, I think Fitbits are pretty bad. I didn't really like the UI, didn't like the experience at all. Now, it depends on what you're tracking. So my wife has a Garmin and she loves it for that type of data, like the GPS, altimeter, things like that. She does not like it for the heart rate. So it depends on what you're trying to track with this question. So if you want to send me a follow-up question, like, let me know what that follow-up question is, like what you're trying to track. All right. So far, so good. I don't know. Is anybody... Also, if you do want to join this live stream, you can actually share the screen with me if that's something you would like to do. If you look up in the comments, you're going to see a link that I posted. You can click on that and you can actually join me. I don't know how to make it work, so it's anybody's guess if it actually works, but I'd love to have you if you want to be on there. Don't feel like you need to have some crazy setup. You can do it on your phone, but maybe just make sure that we can all hear you if you do join. Like if you join and you've got babies screaming in the background and a washing machine going and your dog's barking, I'm going to probably cut you off. Boom, 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 boom. What else did I want to say? Also, I wanted to give you an update on some of the videos that I've been posting. I got some questions about vlogging and if I was only going to be vlogging from now on. And I wanted to let you know, no, I'll still continue to do the vlogs. I'm not good at them, and that's why I'm doing them as for practice. And it's kind of fun. It's becoming more fun. But the reason I haven't been doing the product reviews like I normally would is because I haven't had any products. But that's changing. I've got some really cool stuff coming in. I've got a fitness tracker coming in that the UFC uses, the NBA uses, MLB. It's called Omega Wave. Some of the best athletes on the planet use it. I'm really excited to try it. So Omega Wave's going to be coming in. I'm going to be using a product called Cove. Cove is a product that you wear that actually like eliminates stress. I'm really interested to try that out to see if it's just complete nonsense or if it actually does work. And then I've got a really sweet bed coming in. So 8 Sleep Pro, they make a bed that thermoregulates and it measures your resting heart rate, your HRV. And in the future, it's going to do some crazy stuff. So I'm really excited to do those and share those with you guys. Let's see. What do we got? I care for the heart. So Chris does follow up and he says, I care for the heart rate monitor more than anything. Listen, if you're really serious about getting an accurate reading for your heart rate, I would choose Whoop. Here's another thing that I want you guys to understand about accuracy when it comes to a fitness tracker. 99 times out of 100, your inaccurate reading is because of a poor fit of your fitness tracker. I get made fun of all the time for just like how, like, if you could see this thing is on there pretty darn tight. This is my Whoop, all right? So I get made fun of all the time for how tight it is, but it should leave like an imprint on your arm. The problem with fitness trackers, you can see, here's your Wise Watch, right? Just big square. There's your sensor. Apple Watch, same thing. Here's your Gobi, even worse, just this massive square. They don't fit like the shape of your wrist. Like your wrist is round and they have really flat sensors. So in order for it to be properly fit, you really got to wear it snug. So a lot of your accuracy problems, just FYI, are probably being caused by fit. So even though I look like a total gomer wearing this as tight as it is, that's how tight you have to wear it to get an accurate reading. Let's see. Have you heard about the Aura Smart Ring? Yeah, Andy. Boom. I'm going to do the best I can of getting to all these chats. It can kind of get daunting looking through all this stuff. But Andy says, have you heard about the Aura Smart Ring? You just missed it. Yes, I have one here. I've used it. I really like it. The reason I don't use it is because it doesn't give me real-time activity tracking. So when I'm doing a workout, it doesn't show me anything about that workout, which is kind of a bummer. I didn't realize until like we got it. My wife got me one. She got one. We tried them. We were both like, oh, this is lame. So it doesn't do that. I'm sure they could just do a firmware update and make it so, but it doesn't. So that's why I use the Whoop, because real time. And it tracks sleep and does everything else. Mary McCullum. I'm looking for something that tracks miles, hiking, and also heart rate and sleep. What would you recommend for those things? My wife is the hiking buff. And when it comes to hiking, that Garmin is rad because the GPS is awesome. So if you're really concerned, if you like the accuracy of the hike, like where you go and how many miles you track is like your number one issue, that's going to have a better GPS than the Whoop does. So that's good. And it will also track heart rate. I don't know about sleep. Babe, if you're watching, maybe fill in on that. I'm not sure. But I do know that Melissa doesn't really care for the heart rate tracking out of the Garmin. I haven't used it yet because I can't afford one. Honestly, they're pretty expensive. So unless Garmin reaches out and is like, hey, try this, I in the foreseeable future, I don't see me trying it. Mark, are you happy with the Whoop HR data versus Apple Watch? Oh, 100%. So earlier I talked about like accuracy between these things. So Apple Watch will track your heart rate once every 5 minutes unless it detects you're in activity. Once you start doing an activity, it gives you readings on average 12 times per minute. That's pretty good. The problem with that is you got to get your heart rate high enough and sustained long enough that it recognizes that's an activity. So maybe the first 10 or 15 minutes of your workout, they don't even log, or they only take readings, 3 times out of those 15 minutes. But Whoop takes a reading every millisecond. And if memory serves me correctly, there are 1,000 milliseconds in a minute. So you're getting 10,000 times the data as you would an Apple Watch. The reason the Apple Watch doesn't do that, I'm assuming, is simply battery life. If it was reading that much data, the reason I don't use the Apple Watch is the battery sucks. It's like 30 hours for me, 36. It would crush this. It would absolutely crush it, and it would be good for probably like 5 or 6, and nobody would ever wear it. So they have to like kind of like handicap the algorithm a little bit. I hope that answers your question though. Let's see. Where are we? Monkey already happened. Yep. Watch is just too hard to keep in the right place. Let's see. Yes. So Melissa also says, I was going to say this, but again, the Whoops, like GPS isn't that great, but you can connect it to Strava. So Yeah, there you go. Thank you, hon. What do we got? Anything else? Anything else? Out of all of these, so again, let's go through them one more time. Got the Whoop Strap 3.0. Do you want me to go over prices? Maybe I'll do that. Whoop Strap, again, is a monthly subscription. That's probably the biggest gripe from everybody that I talk to, and that's why they don't do it. Think of it as a service rather than a product, and that's why they're charging you. Whoop is anywhere from 30 to 18 bucks a month. The Wise Watch is on the opposite end of this spectrum. This is an incredible little device because this was only 20 bucks. I actually got it for free because my friend Bill sent it to me. I'm going to give it back to him when he comes into town. But the Wise Watch does a lot of really good things, and it was only $20. So Wise Watch, $20. I think it's $30 now. I think the $20 was a Kickstarter price. Apple Watch, I think they start at $360 for the Series 6. This is the Series 4. I would hold off. The Series 7 is coming. And if you are really concerned about pre-existing conditions, or if you are going to be, maybe you're in that pre-diabetic stage, the Apple Watch Series 7 is supposed to have a continuous glucose monitor in it, a non-invasive continuous glucose monitor. That could be revolutionary. So the Apple Watch Series 7 is coming soon, I think here in another couple of months. So maybe hold off if you were thinking about getting an Apple Watch. This is a really unique device. This is the Hilby Gobi 2. And this thing automatically tracks the calories you eat. I did a review on it, so you can go onto my channel, watch the review. I believe this thing is $119 on Amazon. They have a third version that I haven't acquired yet because it's just available on their website, and I'd rather get something through Amazon. You've got the Oura Ring, which I believe is a little over $300, and then the super creepy device, that's what everybody calls it, I don't really care, the Amazon Halo. This has some really unique features. It can measure your body fat, it measures the tone in your voice, and it comes in at $100. But I think they've been sold out for, forever. So let's see. Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah. Megan, thank you for the question. How's the battery life on all these? I hate charging my Apple Watch every day. That's why I got rid of it. So in order from best to worst, the Wise Watch, it's not doing that much data collecting and it doesn't offer that much, but the battery life on this is absurd. It's 9 days. It's rad. The next best battery life, I'm going to say, is probably Oura Ring. On average, I got like 5 to 7 days out of this. Really impressed with that. Again, so anything with a screen is going to have worse battery life except for this. I had the Fitbit Sense. That actually had a really good battery life too because, again, it wasn't taking much data. Then the Whoop, I get on average about 4 to 5 days with this. Amazon Halo is about 5 days. Unless you're running the tone feature, then you only get 2 days. The Gobi 2 is surprisingly bad at about a day and a half. So you got to charge this every day and a half. And then Apple Watch is right there, right? 36 hours, so a day and a half. Tom G. This is a really good question. Interesting question. Best fitness tracker for beginners. I've never owned one. Looking for bang for your buck. So Tom, if you would humor me, what are you trying to accomplish with your fitness tracker? Because best is kind of subjective, right? Like, is your overall goal performance? Is your overall goal sleep tracking? Is your overall goal weight loss? None of these, including the Whoop, which is my go-to, does everything, right? They all have some hangups. They all have their own faults. So what is like your follow-up? Like, what are you really trying to accomplish? Once you send me that, then I can probably better guide you. Megan, you're welcome. How are we doing so far? Do we need to change the music? Let's change the music. gonna have some fun. Change the music. Let's put some lo-fi hip-hop on. What do you guys think of the setup? How do you like the Restream experience? A couple cameras switching around, the background. Do you guys like that? It's not a super expensive service, but not cheap enough to be like, oh yeah, this is a no-brainer if nobody liked it. If everybody was like, this is fun, just do a regular live stream, then it'd be like. But if you guys like it and want to see more live streams, if you really like the live stream interactive content, please let me know. It's something I've thought about doing for a while, and I think it could be a lot of fun. But if nobody wants it, then what's the point, right? Let's see. Looks great, but I feel like chats don't pop up in the video feed very quickly. Interesting. Okay. The only, like, I'm on. Yeah, it's kind of hard for me because I only get it in the time. What am I trying to say, honey? I can only see it as it shows up on Restream for me. I can't see it on my phone, like if I'm going. It's just telling me like I'm still waiting. So I'm kind of like up in the air. Tom, you got back to me. Mainly looking for sleep, heart rate, performance tracking. All right, good to know. Tom, what is your budget? What's your budget? Best bang for the buck. So what is that buck that you're looking to spend? There's a bit of lag, no big deal, but I noticed it. Yeah, I mean, I kind of assumed. I am hardwired in, but I mean, I can even see some latency here. Alexandra. Hey, Alexandra. It looks, let's see. I guess I could show them. This is awesome. Far easier to follow and just seems better quality than a lot of other live streams I've been on. Well, thank you very much. This took me just a stupid amount of time to set up. Like, I wish I could show you everything, but two important facts about me. One, I kind of wing things maybe a little too willy-nilly. I will just wing it without really thinking ahead. And two, I go hard. Tom, 100 to 125. All right, I would say at 100 to 125, I would say the Fitbit. Something in the Fitbit range is going to be pretty darn good for that. The Amazon Halo isn't too bad, but I would say, oh man, I don't have all the Fitbit prices off the top of my head, but that's a pretty solid fitness tracker. I'm not a huge fan of the UI, the user like experience, and it's kind of laggy for me sometimes. Like the tap features don't work that well. That was with the Fitbit Sense. I think that was like $320, and I think they're on sale for like $225. But something in the Fitbit range is going to give you a lot of features for that price range. That's probably where I would start looking. All right. Hopefully that answers your question. Oh, whoops. Double clicked on that. But yeah, I don't have the Fitbit Sense because that's the first fitness tracker I bought and literally just like, see you later, and I chucked it. So, not chucked it. I didn't throw it in the trash. I returned it. I said that in a really weird way. Yes, they started. Chris says, thanks, Chris. That's super helpful. Yes, they start at 90-ish. Oh, I've got an iPad right here. I can just look it up. Fitbit. And we can just look together. So here's Fitbit. They came out with some fancy ones, smartwatches, trackers. Let's go to the trackers. We're going to find Tom a new tracker. Tom, that Gorjana special edition, that's screaming you. I'm just joking. That is hideous. Don't buy that. That Fitbit Charge 4 special edition right here, I've heard actually pretty good things about it, man. It's got good battery life, 119, that falls right into the 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 budget margin that you were looking for, I think that's probably a good one, man. That's probably where I would start. Hopefully that helps. Yeah. So Fitbit Sense, I honestly hated it. I know people are pretty diehard on their Fitbits, but it gave me such a bad experience that I probably will not return to it. But I have seen the reviews on the Charge 4, and they've been really good. A lot of people have said that's way better than the Sense, which is funny because the Sense was like their flagship. But if you're looking for a great solid tracker, that Fitbit Charge 4 should be pretty money. Thanks, man. Appreciate the info. For sure, dude. That's what we're here for. My camera says it's going to die. This camera might die. I don't know why. I've got like a power bank plugged into it, so I've got to figure out a different means to power this. So that one might be going away. So we're just going to au revoir for now. What time is it? 5:40. I would think we've got about 20 more minutes if you guys have a question. Or again, check this out. If you click this link, you can just hop in the stream with me if you would like to. Don't feel pressured. There are only 16 eyes on you right now. It's not a lot. But if you have a question you want to like hop on the live stream and ask it, you're more than welcome to do that. Or click, where is it? To ask a question, just simply click on live chat and you'll be able to ask. All right. Here's something that you didn't ask me a question on. These little amino energies are delicious. Only 100 milligrams of caffeine. I'm kind of gnarly about my caffeine. I've got a pretty high tolerance to caffeine, but these only have 100 and they taste great. So we'll give it another 5. Any other questions, bring them on in. If you have questions not on fitness trackers, you're more than welcome to ask. I didn't want this to be just a fitness tracker. Actually, let me give you the reason why I decided to do it like this. If you had any idea how long it takes to research every single feature of like a smartwatch, like every fitness feature of a smartwatch, the app, everything, the amount of time that goes into the research. And then when you're doing a comparison, like Apple Watch versus Whoop, and you've got to like compare the apps, you've got to like all the metrics that they track. I'm reaching out to people. It just gets exhausting. And to do a full-blown comparison, which is what everybody has been asking for, oh my gosh, that just seems like the worst thing in the world right now, to try to do it on 7 different things. So I thought live stream. That way I can answer everybody's questions all at once, get all of your questions answered, and I don't have to film for 2 weeks and edit for 4 and then create a video. And this is permanent. Like this will stay up on YouTube as well. So it kind of works both ways. But that's why we're doing the live stream on the fitness tracker. But if you have questions on anything else, by all means, send them in. Is that camera still going strong? It is. Still going strong. I'm impressed. Let's see. Anything else? Jessica Jones. I have the Aura and just bought the Apple Watch. And I'm regretting the Apple Watch. Seems like a really expensive Fitbit that I have to charge every day. You know, I have mixed feelings about the Apple Watch. Like if you're really integrated into the Apple ecosystem, I think that this thing can be amazing. And if they could greatly improve the battery life, this thing would be my go-to. It just does things that none of these others can. Like I can unlock my computer when I sit down. I can like program all these different like shortcuts, and it could just do so much. But regardless of what it can offer, If it gets in the way, you're not going to use it. So no matter how cheap it is, no matter how expensive it is, no matter how cool it looks, no matter the feature set, if it gets in your way, you won't use it. And it is the reason why I don't use it that often. It looks cool, but for 360 bucks, it's kind of like a paperweight now, right? I don't use it. I'll be honest, I don't use any of these other than the Whoop, and I'll tell you why. Because it's the easiest. The Whoop is the only thing that tracks all of your data and makes it super easy to understand. Oura Ring probably comes in a close second, but all of these others, you have to interpret the data. And for most people, they're not experts. Like, they can't look at an HRV score and their sleep score and a bunch of other things and be like, okay, this is what I need to do over the next 3 days to like make some meaningful changes, right? Whoop is the only thing that takes all of that data and makes it super easy to understand. So again, Aura, close second, but Whoop is by far the best. So it stays out of my life the most, which is what I like. I put it on, and when I charge it, what's cool about the Whoop is the battery pack just slides right over the top. You don't even take it off. So I just slide on a battery pack. After it's charged, take the battery pack off. Once a day, I can pop open my phone, come in here, go to Whoop, and it's going to give me a little thing. Now, I haven't done, so it'll tell me my strain. It'll tell me my recovery. I look at it, cool. I'm in the green. I can go pretty darn hard today. Yeah, so that's why I choose Whoop. I think it's the best. Here's something else, a little food for thought. You don't need any of them. As much as I love technology, I love fitness tech, and I love telling you guys about this stuff, you don't need any of these. I went like 2 weeks without anything, and I was just fine. Like, I didn't blow up. I didn't like suddenly gain 30 pounds because I didn't know what to do with myself. But you don't need any of them. There's a great book out there by Dave McKenzie. It's called Unplugged. I believe it's called Unplugged. Again, I have this thing. Why am I not using it? Let's check it out. Unplugged. Bam. This book right here is an awesome book. It's a super awesome book. If you want to learn more about how to just listen to your body and perform without needing something like a watch or a phone or headphones or anything like that, that book's really great, and I definitely recommend reading it. Let's see. Andy Lewis, any recommendations on reading material? That one. I didn't see that come in. I'm assuming you sent that before I sent it. But Andy, hide. That's a really good book. It really is, if that's what you're talking about. But just basic reading material. I don't read a lot. It's really hard on my brain, and I get distracted really easy. So I listen to books on tape. Books on tape. Does anybody listen to tape? Books on... You guys know what I'm talking about. Digital books. My favorite book of all time is by Steven Pressfield. It's called The War of Art. I could read that 100 bajillion times and I'd never get sick of it. That's my favorite book of all time. There you go. Fitness trackers are awesome, but what's your top tip for people just trying to get their fitness back post-lockdown, etc., so that you can maximize a fitness tracker? I'll be honest. Work your ass off. Here's the deal. 99% of us do not work hard enough to necessitate a day off. And that might be a little bit weird. I'm sure you've heard people say, take a day off. And I would say you need a less day and not a rest day. So if you want to get your fitness back, there's only one way, and that's work really, really hard. So I would make sure you sweat. I would keep your heart rate above, 130 to like 175. I would experiment in different heart rate zones, but hard work. You just got to work really, really hard all the time. Like, you really don't need days off. You need less days. And I know that might sound counter intuitive to what other people are saying. I'm also not great with words, but really you can do way more than you think. And I would just work really, really hard every single day. What would constitute a less day? Like when you're feeling really beat up, go for a walk. Take a 30-minute walk. Walk your dog. If you don't have your dog, walk by yourself. Go enjoy nature. It's awesome for your heart and just your brain. And do that and have that be a less day. But the vast majority of us do not need like couch days where we're just so beat up. Like your elite CrossFitters, yeah, for sure. Your elite athletes, absolutely. But even for people like me, I don't want to say for people like me, like I'm some crazy fit person, but I've been at that point. I don't need those now. I can work out pretty hard every single day, and it's very rare that I'll take an actual day off, like once every 3 or 4 weeks. All right. Um, Hopefully that helps. But let's see, so that you can maximize the fitness tracker. Maximizing the fitness tracker, I would say, what are my thoughts on maximizing the fitness tracker? I would use the fitness tracker to simply track like heart rate and HRV and plan accordingly to those metrics. But I've known people that have gotten a fitness tracker and instead of going hard when they should go hard, and the thing is like, hey, maybe you could chill today. They chilled. They started to let it dictate their actions, and sometimes that's when a fitness tracker kind of betrays you. That's what's in that book, Unplugged. Hopefully that makes sense. Let's see. Noted def. No sweat. That's what we're here for. What do we got? 5:40. Do you think we could go for another 12 minutes? Do we got enough people and questions to go for another 12 minutes? To everybody that's asked a question, everybody that's followed or watched, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. It's a lot of fun for me. I like doing more of this interactive stuff. Making videos is a lot of fun, but doing something like this live stream, it's challenging, but it's a lot of fun because it's really fast paced and interactive. And somehow, I didn't blow it. My camera died. That's probably the biggest snafu, but I did everything to prevent that. So I'm gonna let that pass. But for the most part, this is a lot of fun. I like that we can play music in the background. Hello, what's up, Dionysus? Did I pronounce that right? Dionysus? That's a badass name, by the way. Dionysus writes, hello, what's your favorite smartwatch? Just logged in. Sorry if I'm making you repeat yourself. No problem. It's all good. My favorite smartwatch is the Apple Watch. It's not my favorite fitness tracker, but out of smartwatches, the Apple Watch decimates everything. There's nothing close. Apple Watch, Fitbit Sense, like the Samsung watch, nothing comes close to the Apple Watch. It's just so far ahead of everything else in its ability to do so many different cool things. Plus, probably the biggest thing is just the responsiveness. Like in every other smartwatch that I've tested, you could like tap, 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 and then it goes. And the Apple Watch is just, it's butter. So if you're going to get a smartwatch, Apple Watch for sure. Bum, bum, bum. But as far as fitness tracker goes, Whoop. Whoop is just the, like I told you guys, I am repeating myself, but I don't mind. It's the easiest. It's absolutely the easiest. It takes more data than anything else, so it's the most accurate. The battery pack is awesome because it just slides on. I don't have to take this off. It's waterproof. I can wear it in the shower. Don't wear the battery puck in the shower. But I just slide the battery puck on. When it's done charging, I just stick the battery puck back on the charger and go about my life. Plus, all the data it gives me is the easiest to understand because it actually interprets that data for you. You're not sitting there going, okay, well, if my HRV was 27 today and it was 48 the other day, like, what do I need to do today? Do I belong in zone 6, maybe zone 1? It does all that for you. So it's the best. And because it's the best, it's going to cost you a little bit more. Oh. Bum, bum, bum. If you guys want, just a second. So here's everything on Whoop. Hey, look at that. You get $30 off. If you guys want a Whoop, I do have an affiliate link. It is an affiliate link, so I do get paid if you guys use it, but it also saves you $30, which is nice. But this is Whoop Strap 3.0 Experience Whoop. So it comes with the strap, which is great. It comes with a puck, but it's also got this cool feature, like the community. The other thing I really like about Whoop that the others don't is, one, it's got this community function, and I know they're working on improving it. I've been working with them to improve it. But you can actually start like a group, kind of like a Facebook group, put a bunch of people in there that you want, and you can kind of compete if you want. You can see each other's strain, their sleep, your recovery, and so you can do challenges based on that. Hopefully where Whoop will go is, the suggestion I gave them is that you need to be able to offer challenges in the group, like be able to communicate. Hopefully that will happen soon. But the other cool thing about Whoop is they update it like every 2 weeks. There's new exercises that you can choose from. It's the only one that's being updated super regularly. It feels like once every 2 weeks, once every month, there's a new update that will track something. So Whoop's doing a great job. Like they integrated some COVID-19 testing in there, like long before, like as COVID was becoming a thing, you could check your respiratory rate and see if you were having significant, respiratory changes, because they found a correlation to COVID and respiratory rates. They just do really cool stuff like that. And they can take large chunks of data from large demographics and do some really interesting things with it. They did a post on like the day after the election, and they could look at different segments of people and see how their recovery was. Like if their guy won, then they were stoked and the recovery was really high, but they stayed out really late to like celebrate. And then like if their guy lost, it was just really interesting. So I think Whoop is doing some really cool stuff. I think we've got time for one more question. We've got a few people still on here, so I would love to field it if you're cool with that. If you've got a question, just click the live chat, leave it there, or you can jump into this link. This link right here, it's in the chat, and you can actually be in the live stream. We haven't had any takers yet, so I don't know if we will. But anyway, it's there for you if you would like to. Finally, if you want to help out the channel, help the channel grow, again, if you like stuff that's going to help you move, feel, and perform better, both mentally and physically, do that. Subscribe, hit that like button. That like button goes a long, long way in helping this video and my other videos get seen by more people just like you. So it's really important to hit that like button, or hit the dislike button. If you hate my guts and you don't want to watch this stuff anymore, hit that dislike button. Any data is good data. You can follow me on Instagram at super_human_performance. Please follow me there. I do a lot of stuff that's non-fitness related. There's fitness stuff there, but more of my photography and daily life is up there. So if you want to connect that way, and you can always, send me a question, let me know. All right. Well, thanks for watching. I think I'm going to log off. I don't have any new questions coming in, but thank you so much for watching. That was a lot of fun. I guess I'll catch you later. Peace.